Sziasztok! Hi everyone, I'm Sándor. Welcome to another Hungarian lesson. Did you know that there are multiple ways to say food in Hungarian? That's right, we Hungarians love our synonyms. Let's kick it. So the default way to say food is étel. Étel. If you only know this one, you're basically good. This is the most commonly used word in the media, books, and all that stuff. But not necessarily in everyday speech, actually. I'm not sure about the whole of Hungary, but at least where I live, people tend to use the word kaja. Kaja. It's a slang term, and everybody uses this one over étel. Étel sounds a bit too stiff and official. There's even a verb derived from that, which is kajálni. Kajálni. It's a regular verb, you conjugate it regularly, unlike the official verb enni. Both mean to eat. Alright, let's take a look at some official terms. Élelem. Élelem. This is not used in everyday speech, but if you watch a National Geographic documentary about some animal species, they're going to use this word to mean food. This is an interesting word because if you conjugate it, you have to drop the last vowel. So the plural form, for example, would be élelmek. Élelmek. Derived from this is the word élelmiszer. Élelmiszer. Again, an official term, but this is somewhat used in everyday life. Many stores have the word élelmiszerbolt. Élelmiszerbolt written over the entrance door. Bolt means store or shop, so this word means food store. Then you have the word táplálék. Táplálék. Again, an official term, and again, you can encounter it in a National Geographic documentary, for example. It's usually used when we're talking about animals. There's also a verb derived from that, and that is táplálkozni. Táplálkozni. It's a so-called ik verb, so keep that in mind when you want to conjugate it. Derived from that is the word táp. Táp. This is basically strictly used for animal foods. It's usually used as a compound word, like csirketáp, csirketáp, chicken food, nyúltáp, nyúltáp, rabbit food, kutyatáp, kutyatáp, dog food. Here's another one. Eredel. Eredel. This can also be found in official situations, but not necessarily restricted for animals. When I hear this word, it sounds old to me. But for example, if you go to a pet food store, you'll see this. Állateledel. Állateledel. This literally means animal food. So, pet food, in other words. Alright, here are some non-official words. Eleség. Eleség. Again, an older word, nobody uses this in everyday speech, but maybe you can find it in writing. I don't think I've ever used this in my life. Étek. Étek. Again, an older word, and also kind of a fancy word. I never use this, I don't think anybody does in everyday life, unless we want to sound fancy, jokingly. And on purpose. But the next one, however, ennivaló. Ennivaló. This basically means stuff to eat. Not quite, but it's impossible to properly translate. This is still in use. Let's say you have a son who's going on a trip, you can say, vigyél magaddal ennivalót. Vigyél magaddal ennivalót. Take some food with you. Not as common as kaja, but you can easily encounter this. Harapnivaló. Harapnivaló. It roughly means stuff to bite or something to bite. Less common than ennivaló, but this is also still in use. In writing, absolutely, but sometimes people say it in everyday speech as well. It's not slang, it's not fancy. It does sound a bit official though, but it also sounds kind of playful. It's an interesting word for sure. And lastly, a slang term just like kaja. Koszt. Koszt. It's not that frequently used anymore. I think people used this much more often back in the day. When I hear this, I get the feeling that the food is not that great. For example, kórházi koszt. Kórházi koszt. Hospital food. Hospital food in Hungary is famously horrendous. So if you enjoy your meal here in Hungary, please don't call it koszt, okay? You can still say kaja, though. Thank you for studying with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe. And if you feel like supporting the channel even more, my PayPal information is in the description. See you in the next lesson. Sziasztok, a viszontlátásra!